$25,000, that is the reward being offered in the death of Crystal Bradshaw. Someone knows who killed her before setting her home on fire. It happened along North Brook Street in Boiling Springs, June of 2007. That's the night firefighters were called there, but they had no idea at the time there would be a whole lot more to this case. But to this day, the person responsible has never been brought to justice.
And our crew was there for the announcement from the sheriff's office this morning. Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer live right now. And Carrie, what's the newest details right now in this case?
Yeah, guys, you know, Cody had mentioned earlier he was there when this happened 14 years ago. Of course, we've been wanting to find out answers on this, as well as law enforcement and obviously the family. Now, today, on this day, 14 years ago, it happened. Of course, the case is still cold, so the sheriff from Spartanburg County is asking for help from the public to come forward and help out the investigation.
In the early morning of June 3rd, 2007, the fire department was dispatched to a home on Northbrook Street in Boiling Springs, where investigators say Crystal Bradshaw, a 28-year-old wife and mother, was brutally beaten and died sometime before the house she was found in burned down.
That was when she was working at the Peach Blossom. So, I mean, she's a girl next door.
Officials tell us they believe the murder took place in the late evening hours the day before. Bradshaw was separated from her husband at the time and had only lived at the Northbrook address for 4 months.
If you have information, no matter how minute you think it might be, I want you to let us be the deciding factor whether it's useful to us or not.
The sheriff showed us a composite sketch of a person of interest that was seen in the carport of the home the night of the homicide. He tells us that person left the scene before first responders were able to question him. Investigators believe this person may have useful information in the case, but asks anyone to come forward that can help the investigation.
A $25,000 cash reward has been offered for whomever can give us information on what happened that night.
We visited where the house once stood, now completely gone, with only a field of wildflowers growing and a makeshift memorial left by family. Most of the neighbors tell me they're new and they've only heard about that night, while Bradshaw's next-door neighbor, who didn't want to go on camera, says he remembers that day and hopes her family will get the closure they deserve.
14 years ago, you might not have been in a position to tell us things because of your lifestyle or your past or your confidence level, whatever the case. But I implore you, if you have any information, please sit and think about this. This is important. We're talking about a young girl's life here.
And the sheriff asked today for anybody that has any information whatsoever to please step forward and call the Unsolved Homicide Unit at the sheriff's office there in Spartanburg. Or if you have a tip and you want to remain anonymous, you can always call Crime Stoppers at 23 Crime. Cody, Tori?
All right, Carrie, hopefully this reward will have someone talking soon. See you.